Hello, I am Dusk, and today I will be doing a demonstration of my custom Geometry Dash level, Killer Sudoku 6x6. Killer Sudoku is my favorite logic puzzle, and I just wanted to recreate it in GD, and let's just play it, and I'll do a little demonstration. You probably already know the basic rules of Sudoku. You get numbers 1 through 9, or in this case 1 through 6. You only get to place one of each number in each row, column, and box. And in this case, there'll be cages. Now, what are these cages? These cages are what makes Killer Sudoku killer. It's also known as Sum Sudoku because there's numbers at the top of each cage, and all the numbers within the cage have to add up to that number. So, for example, if a cage had 11, you can make it with 1, 4, and 6. Thing about these cages, you cannot have repeating numbers in them, even if they span different boxes or whatever. Candidate mode, I'll show you what that does in a bit. It's what set this levels apart from all the other Sudoku levels on the server. And yada 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 yada, I don't care. Alright, let's play. Alright, so basic controls. You use your player 1 to move your cursor around. You can move left, right, or up. But how do you move down? You just do that. Because there's only 6 buttons for me to work with, and I wanted to use all of them to their maximum potential. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is you want to look at the numbers you already have. So the first thing that sticks out to me here is this 9 cage. It already has 4 in it. And how do you make a 9 with a 4? You add a 5. So this other box must be a 5. And you use your player 2 to increment the thing up. Alright, let's look at the small numbers. Look at this 3 here. How do you make a 3? It's pretty easy. It can only be 1 and 2. But where does the 1 and 2 go? We don't really know, so we'll open candidate mode by pressing player 2 jump. Select 1, select 2. The other Sudoku levels, you can't do that. You just have to place each number in a row and keep a mental note. I like this because, makes it a bit easier on your brain. We can do the same thing for this 3 right here. And for this 4, how do you make a 4? Well, you can do 2 and 2, except that then you'll have 2 of the same number within the same cage and box in a row, or column, sorry, and you can't just do that. So it's got to be a 1 and 3. But look here. What do you see? You know for a fact that there's going to be a 1 in one of these 2 boxes. So you know for a fact that nothing else in this column can be a 1. So this cannot be a 1, so it must be a 2. This must be a 1. And look at this. We only have 1 number in this column not accounted for, so this must be a 6. Now let's look at this 8. What can you make 8 out of? That's not already here. We got 3 and 5. But look, this number was already given to us. So this must be a 3, this must be a 5. The only thing that's left here is a 6. Alright, let's look at this 8. Must be a 3 and a 5 because nothing else works. This must be a 4. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to do a little bit of arithmetic. Look at this cage, it has 13. It already has 4 and 6. So that means these 2 must add up to 3. And that can only be done with a 1 and 2. There's already a 2 there, so this must be a 1. This must be a 2. The only number not accounted here is 6. Alright, let's go down to this 15. Minus 5. There must be 10 here, and the only way to make a 10 is 6 and 4. There's a 4 there, so there's got to be a 6 here. There's got to be a 4 here. The only numbers not accounted for in this box is 3 and 5. That makes 8 plus 2, that's 10. And we know for a fact that there's a 3 here, so this can't be a 3, it must be a 1. This must be a 3. This must be a 1. This must be a 2. And there must be a 2 here. The only numbers left here are 4 and 6. This is a 4, this is a 6. And now, let's look at the 2. There's only one possible spot for there to be a 2 here, must be here. And the only thing left in this row is a 1. Now let's look at this column, it's going to be 3 and 4, 3 and 4. Now let's look at this 15. We got 1 and 6, so these 2 boxes right here, it's got to be 8. And what makes an 8? 3 and 5. There can't be a 4 because that would mean that there would be a 4 here and a 4 here, which is not doable. 3, 5, 4. This must be a 4 as well. 13, 6, 4, plus 3, that's 13. this is a 5, this is a 3, this is a 5, this is a 3, and this is a 1, and this is a 6. Very nice. Now, you can just wait for this timer to expire and you get your moons, or if you're like me, you want more coins, you just hit 3 times, and you go to the next puzzle. Okay, that guy's eyes kind of fucked up. Okay, so 6, that can only be done with 1, 2, and 3. Those are your only unique numbers. Alright, the thing you'll notice about this puzzle is you only get 2 numbers this time. So the puzzles, you get less and less hints, or fewer and fewer hints as you go along. Alright, so this is 4, 1, and 3. Alright, 7, 1, 2, and 4 are the only way to make 7 out of 3 numbers. And the 4 can't be in this column, so the 4 must be here. 1, 2, 1, 2. There's no 1 and 2 here, so this got to be a 3. 1, 2, 2. Alright, 10. That's got to be 4 and 6. The only place a 5 can go here is there. 14 minus 5 is 9, minus 6 is 3. 7 is 1, 2, and 4. The only place a 4 can go is here. The only place a 1 can go is here. That leaves the 2 to go right there. It must be a 5 and 6 here. Those are the only numbers to the left. And a 5 and a 6 here, because that's the only place they can go there. Alright. There must be a 1 and a 2 here, because there's nowhere else those can go. 8 minus 1 minus 2 is 5. There must be a 5 here. There can't be a 5 here, so there's got to be a 6. That's got to be a 5. It's got to be a 6. Alright, there's a 4 and a 5 left here. There's a 4 here, so it must be here. 5. Alright, there's a 2 here, so this must be a 2. 1, 1, 3. Right, 6, 6. 4, 4. Wait, what? What did I do? Hold on, I think I fucked up somewhere. Did I? No. No, I just put down the wrong numbers. 2 and 6. That's got to be 8. That means there's a 3 here. Okay, one next. Alright, must be a 2 here. There's a 1 here and a 3 here. So there's no 1. It must be a 2. 1, 6, 2, 4, 6. And there must be a 4 and a 5. There's already a 4, so there's going to be a 5. Right? Alright. 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. And what's left is 3 and 5, 3 and 5. Alright, very nice. I'm just gonna do all these puzzles because I think Killer Sudoku is very fun. So I'm just gonna keep on going. I'm gonna be making a 9x9 version soon, so watch out for that. Alright. 1, because that's a 4. Alright. So a 5 can be made out of 2 and 3. That's not possible because there's a 3 already in the box. So it must be a 1 and a 4. Now to make an 11, you can go 5 and 6. The only number that's left is a 2. So 2 minus 7 is 5, which can only be made out of 1 and 4 because you can't do 2 and 3. Alright, now let's look at this. There's a rule in this game. It's rule of 21. Every single row and every single column and every single box, they all add up to 21 because they all have one of each number. So there's 21 in this column, and there's 10 here, there's 5 here. So this box must be the difference between 21, 10, and 15. 15, 6, 21, that's got to be 6. That's got to be 3, that's got to be 5, that's got to be 6. A 7 can be made out of 1 and 6, not possible. 2, 3 and 4, not possible. So it's got to be 2 and 5. This must be 1 or 4. Alright, to make a 5, alright, so let's do another rule of 21. So this box has 21, minus 5, minus 12, that's 17. Minus 17 is 4. There must be a 4 here, there must be a 1, 4, and 1. And then a 4. Alright, to make a 5, it's got to be 2 and 3, because you can't do 1 and 4. There must be a 1 in one of these two. And the only place a 5 or a 6 can go is there. Alright, to make a 9, you can't do 3 and 6, so I must do 4 and 5. This must be a 4, and this must be a 5. There can't be a 5 here, so it's going to be 1 or 6. Alright, to make this 10, we're gonna have to use a 1 and a 5. This must be a 1. This must be a 5. To make a 9, he gets 3 or 6. 6, 3, 4, 2. There's gonna be a 5 and 6. This is gonna be a 6. This is gonna be a 5. And this is gonna be a 3. This is gonna be a 2 or 4 situation. 2, 4, 2, 5. There can only be a 5 here. There can only be a 6 here. There must be a, that must be a 1. And the remaining numbers is 3, 3, 6, 6, 6, 3, 2, 3, 1, and 2. Alright, final stretch. The last puzzle, you get no hints, and I crafted it to be very hard. Okay? Alright, how do you make this 9? It's going to be, you can either do 3 or 6 and 4 and 5. But we know, since that 2 of these are going to be in here, one of these is either going to be a 3 and 6, so we can't do a 3 and 6 here, we must do a 4 and 5. Which means the only place a 5 can go is here, and a 4 can't be here because there's going to be a 4 here, so it's going to be 4, 5, let's change these so it's 1 and 2, and then 3, 6. The rest of these are going to be 1 and 2. Alright, rule of 21, 21 minus 17, there's going to be 4 here, so it's going to be 1 and 3, so there's got to be a 2 or 4 here. The only place a 1 can go in this box is here, because you can't make anything out of a 1 or a 9. Alright, these 2 must be 2 and 4. Alright, to make a 9, you can't do 4 and 5, because this also has both in 4 or 5, so this must be 3 and 6. What the fuck am I doing? 1. Alright. So there must be 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. The only thing left here is a 6. Alright, so another rule 21. 21 minus 11, there must be a 10 shared between these two boxes. Minus 6, there must be a 4 here. So these are going to be 2 and 5. There we go. We don't need to do that. Yep, okay. Alright, 14 minus the 4 down here, there must be a total of 10 up here. We need 6 and 4, 2, 4. Alright, so there's going to be a 2 and 5. It's going to be 2 here, 5 here. Alright, 11 minus 7, that's going to be 3. No, 11 minus 7 is going to be 4, so that's going to be 1 and 3. Must be a 5 here. There's going to be a 4 here. And there's going to be a 6 here. So there's going to be a 16 minus 4 and 6. It's going to be 6 shared between. It can't be 2 because you would need a 4 to complete that. So it's got to be 1 and 5. Here we know for a fact that this is going to be a 2. So there's going to be 1 and 4. This is going to be either a 3 or a 6. And it's going to be a 3, 6, 3. And there's going to be a 2 or 6 here. 2 here, 6 here, which means that this is a 4, this is a 6, this is a 4, this is a 1, this is a 1, this is a 3, this is a 2, this is a 5. Must be a 1 here. It's going to be 2 and 3. 2 here, 3 here. 1, 3, and 3, and 6. And there we go. That's Killer Sudoku 6x6 by me. I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration, even though I am a little under the weather, but it's okay, because I had a good time. Goodbye.